Atlanta's West End. From Dr. King to the Atlanta University Center, it has been the cradle of the civil rights movement and a modern hub of Black innovation. But as urban revitalization reshapes the surrounding neighborhood, how is leadership making sure progress benefits everyone? Who better to speak on the West End's past and future than the senior policy advisor to the mayor and my Morehouse brother, Courtney English. Now, I know you've been part of the Atlanta community. I did not know that you actually grew up in the West End where we went to school.
Absolutely.
And so tell us a little bit about the West End community since, you know, you're a native son.
We're literally standing right here, right now, in what was the epicenter of not just the civil rights movement, but also the African-American intelligentsia for the entire country. So we're in the middle of the Atlanta University Center at the edge of Clark Atlanta University. You know, because you went to Spelman College. I graduated from Morehouse, but right behind me is actually Hunter Street Baptist Church, which was Ralph Abernathy's church. So Dr. King's chief lieutenant, his church is right behind me. When folks talk about Atlanta being the cradle of the modern civil rights movement, Pascal's was literally the heartbeat. So Pascal's was the place where Dr. King and all those folks would congregate to help plan the movement. So it's such a special place. That's what the West End represents. It's what is always represented, both now and well into the future.
You started getting engaged civically very early,
Sure.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I remember being a student or having recently graduated, and everybody was talking about Courtney's running. So Courtney's running,
Yeah.
but that's exciting because a lot of times young people may not feel like that is something for them just yet. So what message would you have to someone that might be on campus today that might be thinking about whether or not they should move forward and pursue elected office or run for school board or just get involved?
Yeah, so I'll say if you're not at the table, but you know, you're certainly on the menu, and you might not be thinking about government, but government actors are certainly thinking about you, and that matters. And if you show up in a place where your issues aren't being addressed, or things you care about are being tossed to the side, or you don't see yourself represented in those folks who are making decisions, well, it's incumbent upon you to come be that voice, right? And if you don't know how, don't be afraid. There are organizations like the Urban League and so many others where you can just walk in and say, hey, look, put me to work and get in the game, because we need you.
I would love to hear from you in your own words what it means to invest in communities like the West End, how important it is for us to engage in our communities.
Well, it's critical. You know, Atlanta has been a tale of two cities, right? So we have fought long and hard to right-size the negative effects of malicious policy decisions. Atlanta has more Black businesses per capita than any other city in the country. We have more Black millionaires per capita than any other city in the country. And at the same time, we've got issues of equity still when we look at child poverty rates, when we look at economic mobility rate. What that tale of two cities tells you, though, is there's nothing wrong with this city that can't be solved by what's right with this city. Because every city in America is dealing with the same equity challenges, right? We have a unique opportunity to build upon the past, to paint a brighter future for everybody who calls this city home and everybody who chooses to move here. Whether you were born and raised here, whether you moved here to decide to come Atlanta home, invest in your community. And investment looks like, again, a whole bunch of ways. Literally, you buy a home, you can send your kid to the school, you can mentor, you can hire some folks, but there are a number of different ways to get involved, up to and including getting involved in your local neighborhood association. And so we welcome that input. That's ultimately what has made Atlanta great, folks coming together and making tough, necessary decisions to push our communities forward.
World-renowned artist Miya Bailey is one man taking investing in his community to another level. He's cultivated space for Black creativity to thrive, not just artistically, but economically. I see you as a developer yourself, you have just amazing spaces that you're creating.
Peter Street Station, and everything on this block that I'm doing, it was 100% funded by no loans, no grants, no capital startup money. It was all by people believing in the vision, me expressing like, hey man, being 100% transparent. If I sell this many paintings, I can do this. And people was a part of it. The community was a part of it. Some people probably didn't even want to buy no paintings and bought paintings because they wanted, you know what I'm saying?
They were bought into the vision.
The vision was
understanding
what
what could be.
And it was clear, and I was transparent, and I made everybody a part of the vision. Because you can't have vision without people.
That so resonates with me, and it so resonates with our movement in the Urban League. You know, we are trying to move from a renting mindset into an owning mindset, right?
Yeah.
We want to own our communities.
Yeah.
We want to own our spaces.
Yeah.
And whether it's an empowerment center, whatever it may be, but gentrification is real.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear more from you about your take on, you know, urban planning, urban revitalization, and what that means, because those words can be loaded.
I see gentrification pushing people out. I see once you push out local people born and raised in the community and they can't afford to live in the city, you lose culture. Without culture, then you really just got really nothing in my opinion. I think art and culture is the life form of the city. And usually the people who live in this, who are born and raised in this dirt, this red soil down here, it's like, these are the people that's creating everything. And we gotta protect these people. A lot of times people move to Atlanta and then they take away without putting stuff back into it. You know what I'm saying? Like you taking from the soil but not putting any new seeds in there. Yeah, I'm not originally from here, but I fell in love with the place and I wanna make sure that I play my part in keeping sure that culture and arts and opportunities in my community. If you got the resources or just the creativity and bravery, you can do something in your community. We right across from a homeless shelter. We make sure like they can walk into a gallery and enjoy art. It's not just for the rich. I can have all classes of people be able to come in a place and enjoy art no matter if they can afford it or not. That's what the goal is, to make sure that the people living in the neighborhoods and out on my end can enjoy art, just can enjoy it.
When you think about art in and of itself, do you see that as political?
I know art is political, and I think anytime an artist can make a living and support their families doing it is a political statement, you know? And a lot of artists might do it in subtle ways. I do my political thing like I'm doing it now. I don't really talk about it. I just put my money where my mouth is and build it. You know, I don't really complain about it. I don't like something in my neighborhood. I believe in, as a man, you're supposed to take it into your hand and do something about it. Can't complain about it. You know, you can't.
You got to be willing to take the steps to make the change
I'm not
happen.
Waiting. Yeah, I'm not waiting for somebody to come in and say, hey, let me do the neighborhood messed up. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to do a neighborhood cleanup.
It's part of the reason we do the work that we do at the National Urban League. It really is about investing in our community, investing in our people, pushing for policies that preserve, but also make sure that the standard of living is extremely high.
Yeah.
So for you, you see leadership as action.
Yeah.
You're like, let's stop talking about it. You just want to be
really
about
big.
it.
Yeah, I'm not really big on a bunch of like
Talking.
Yeah, it's like solution based. We know the problems, and we all got common sense. And we got enough resources. We can do things on our own. I see empty buildings. If I got opportunity to do art studios and galleries and spots for artists, and every single one, I'll do it. You know, I'm looking at it more like an ecosystem. We support each other. We buy each other's stuff. We hire each other. So that's the type of things that's political to me. Putting the money directly to the person, to the people, directly to a family. That's how you do it.
And you're also feeling and experiencing the impact because it's right there in your community.
Exactly.
You talk about this work and this experience, and it's very clear that you are supportive of helping others to also pursue and achieve their dreams. But who has invested in you?
Everybody told me I was gonna be an artist. That's it. And they put that self-esteem in me. I thought nothing, I didn't think about anything else because that's what they told me.
That's incredible. So back home, one, there was never a doubt. You recognized your gift and
They
your
recognized
community,
it.
they recognized
Yeah,
it.
I wasn't.
They saw it before you saw it?
Yeah, wanted to be a boxer. I wanted to be like Sugar Ray Leonard or Muhammad Ali, you know? And then, you know, and
Well,
then
maybe you're the Sugar Ray or Muhammad Ali of art.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah,
because you're knocking me out right now. The point that you said about self-esteem, I think it's incredibly poignant. I will say, when I was a student here and I was spending my time in the community centers and coaching and working with young people, gentrification was something that I think often resulted in having to be moved out of their homes, but then being able to see amazing businesses, people that look like you, reflecting your culture and striving and succeeding and also bringing beauty back has to be extremely affirming. Because sometimes I'm sure people are able to express their gratitude, but there are probably a lot of people that walk by and you bring joy to them and the work that you're doing brings joy. You might never even know it.
Yeah, I try not to get too caught up with it. Just try to do what I'm supposed to do. That's what I feel like I'm supposed to do. I don't really need any, like a validation, any award for it.
Or the accolades. It's what you feel is your personal responsibility.
Yeah, I just feel like if you're a man and you don't like something in your community,
do something about it.
Do something about it. And you don't have to get rid of people too. Like we use everybody, and it's a village, right? The whole thing is like not focus on somebody's negative, but focus on somebody's positive. And when we do that, we can find each other's superpower. And that's how we do it here in the street.
So what's your superpower?
I think I'm good at like bringing the artist, like helping the artist find a voice.
What's next? Where do you see yourself going in the future?
My next plan really is to, you know, acquire more abandoned buildings, gut them out, turn them to galleries and art spaces, let other artists rent these places out and start their own businesses. You know, employ their own staff. That's what I want to lead to, more of a landlord type of.
So you're fighting one abandoned building at a time and turning it into beauty.
Yeah, that's what my thing is, taking abandoned buildings. If somebody don't want them, I take them. I know for a fact artists need art spaces. It feels really, really good when the artists come up, that you've seen come up on their own gallery, on their own studios. Like that really means a lot because they got full expression of themselves. As long as the rent paid, create something good for your community. Employ your people, put other artists on.
So the most important thing to focus on is vision, right? Without vision, the people perish.
Yeah, and this was 100% funded by selling paintings and art. You know, just to show it's an ecosystem. Every penny and dollar was created by selling art.
And he owns the block. That's all I gotta say. Mic drop, it's over.
Not yet, I don't own the block yet, man.
I don't know, you own a couple blocks, that's what it sounds like, that's the vision.
I'm trying to, but yeah, I'm gonna manifest it.
Hey, you gotta speak it into existence.
Yeah, I wanna own the block.
Building the future should always lead us back to our roots. And while in the West End, I couldn't miss an opportunity to visit my alma mater. Dr. Davis, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
I'm so looking forward to taking your class again.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Thank you for letting me jump in and join your class today. I had the honor of taking class with Professor Davis, and so I will say that no matter what role I had, what I learned in this course has been invaluable. So soak everything up, and I'm just excited to be able to be here and to listen and be a student again. So thank you, Dr. Davis. The Atlanta University Center has long been host to new developments.
Clark, Morehouse, Atlanta University, and Morris Brown. All of them had libraries. And they decided to come up with a central library, Robert W. Wilshire Library. We was a lead architect.
And there's more on the horizon.
It feels amazing to see the new development on Spelman's campus. The BDT Suites, Beverly Daniel Tatum Suites, our previous president, she enacted this new like wellness, environmental, sustainability kind of initiative. And one of the buildings was our suites, our apartment style dorms, in which we have a LEED certification, so it's environmentally friendly. It's amazing to see that they're investing in our arts program. The new Innovation and Arts building or center that's being built in the front of Spelman, we'll have a museum there for the outer Atlanta area to come and visit.
Atlanta really is a city where history collides with the future, and Black excellence is a way of life, where community members are shaping the landscape for generations to come.